Hi guys, and welcome to today's video on measures of spread for year 9 level. Wow, we are zipping through these videos at this moment in time. It's really good to see you guys. I'm Darren, otherwise known as MaffsGuru, and this video is here to help you with measures of spread. Things like interquartile range, medians, and quartiles, and box plots, and all that exciting stuff. Now, I'm actually primarily targeting this to the Cambridge Essentials Maths books, the textbook series. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it, because nor do I half the time. Lol, just joking. No, I do. But the maths is universal. If you're looking at trying to work out about measures of spread, hopefully I'll be able to help you for whichever country you're in and for whichever course you're doing. Now, if you are new, it is really good to see you. Can you do me a great favor? Over there in the corner is an arrow pointing to effectively a subscribe button for my YouTube channel. That will give you notifications. It will give you sort of, let you know when videos are coming that are actually relevant to you. I'm doing this on my own. I sit in a room, literally talking to myself. It's very, very weird. I've got no friends. Trying to create these videos to be helpful to you. So your subscribing actually really, really helps me. It makes me sort of feel that someone's watching. This video is about measures of spread, and there are 3 measures of spread that we're actually going to get to both now and in later videos. 1 is the range. We've already met the range. 2 is the interquartile range. Now, it's very important to know that the interquartile range is a measure of spread of the middle 50% of the data. Why would we only be interested in the middle 50%? I'll let you into a secret. Outliers. We hate outliers. Those pesky pieces of information lying one side or the other. We're not happy about them at all. Thank you very much. And then we have something called the standard deviation. Right? Probably not going to get into the standard deviation now. That is definitely coming in the next lesson. But there is another, better way. Just as well, this isn't an English video. We'd be in all sorts of trouble. But again, and we need to know about this thing called outliers. Now, if you already know about this stuff, just follow along. It's fine. So we've looked at the difference between range and interquartile range. We've looked at the fact that outliers absolutely kill. We don't like outliers in any way, shape, or form because what they do is they change our range. If I had a set of data that ran between 0 and 10, for example, well, at this moment in time, my range is 10. That's easy. The biggest number minus the smallest number. But what if some muppet, when we were asking them a survey, you asked them their age, and they said, well, my age is minus 12. Now, as I say before, sadly, you can't actually punch the guy and say, that doesn't make sense, you've ruined my survey, tell me again, because you've got to take it at face value. All right, by the way, don't get violent, bad idea. What you have to do is you turn around and you go, all right, okay, that's minus 6 or minus 12, and now look what that's done to my range. If I go from minus 12 to 10, it's actually 22. My real range, or my sensible range, was 10. But that muppet, that outlier, has made my life complicated. So the idea of having some sort of center that only looks at the middle 50% gets rid of those outliers and actually really, really helps me. So that range, that middle 50%, that sort of difference between the biggest and lowest value of the middle 50% is called my interquartile range, and we've already met this before. The great thing about this is, although I have a serious dislike for Barry, who makes maths complicated for you over here in Australia, quartile, the title, interquartile range, tells you exactly how to do it, all right? Quarter. So if you imagine a cake, how do we cut a cake into quarters? We halve it, and then we halve it again. And then the range is the difference. And then the inter is the middle. So that's exactly what it's saying. Find the quarters and find the difference between the middle 2 quarters. Now, we have stupid language to describe this, I know. We have one called the upper quartile, which for some reason has a Q with a little 3 at the bottom, and we have a lower quartile, which has a Q with a little 1 down the bottom. All right, Barry, we know you still want to keep making things complicated. But it's irrelevant. So long as we remember what we're doing, it's fine. So here's an example extracted from the Cambridge Essentials textbook series. Thank you, Cambridge, for letting me use your examples. Greatly appreciated. The following data values are the results for a school mathematics test. Yay, whoop whoop. 67, 96, 62, so it goes on. Now the question says, part A, list the data in order from smallest to largest. The reason we have to list the data is we can't actually find middle quarters or cut data in halves without them being in order. It wouldn't make actually any sense to us whatsoever. So let's do that now. Let's put it in order. My lowest number is 19. Cross it off to say, well, I've dealt with it. Any 20s? Yep, 23. Cross it off, say I've dealt with it. Any 30s? No. 40s? No. 50s? Yes, there appears to be a 56. Any more numbers with 50s in them? No. 60s? Yes, I've got a 62. Anything else? 67? Yep. 68? Any other 60s? 70? I've got a 73. I've got a 79. Oh, I've got a 76. 76, then 79. Now, point of fact there, if I hadn't crossed all these off as I was doing them, I would have made a mistake. I'd have missed a number. So it's always good to do this. 79. Then what have we got? 81, 85, 89, and 96. Now, obviously, I could have done that slightly better with space, but we'll be able to do this. So part A is done. Find the range. We can find the range. Remember, the range in this situation is the biggest number. Take away the smallest number. So my range is equal to 96 minus 19, which gives me a grand total of 77. Thank you very much. 96, 86, 77 is the correct answer. There's my range. Now it wants me to continue and says find the median. And again, it's given it this Q2 business. The median is just the middle value. How do we find the middle value? There's all sorts of ways of doing it, but let's just cross off 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and ladies and gentlemen, there is my middle value. There is my median. 73 is my median, so part A, or part 1 there, we can write down the value is 73. Then it wants me to find my lowest quartile, or my lower quartile. Do you remember how to do that? Well, we've already split the cake in half. We now split it in half again, and when we do that, we don't include the median. So we have now data items on the left, data items on the right. How many data items do I have on the left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it just so happens that even just by looking at it, I can tell my middle two values fall between 56 and 62. How do I find halfway between 56 and 62? I add them together and divide by 2. So adding them together gives me 118. So divide that by 2 gives me 59. Yep, now again, I'm doing this all in my head, but you can use a calculator. So the lower quartile is 59. What about my upper quartile? Once again, just by visualizing, I can see that we're going to end up with those two numbers in the middle, 81 and 85. Add those two together gives me 166, and divide that gives me 83. And so there is my 83. The reason they're asking me to do this is to find my interquartile range. And if we remember, my interquartile range is given by Q3 minus Q1. Well, they've given me Q3. We've worked it out as 83. And my Q1 is 59. Taking those away gives me 60, 24. So my interquartile range is 24. Whoop, whoop. I am loving this stuff. It is so easy. There is one more example to do. Again, taken from the Cambridge textbook series. This time we've got 10 long jump events. Doesn't matter how many events I have. The process is exactly the same. Number 1, list the data in order from smallest to largest. So what is my smallest value? That seems to be 5.1. So there's 5.1. Have we got any 6s? Yep, I got a 6.7. Have I got any 7s? I have a 7.1 and a 7.9. 7.1, 7.9. Do I have any 8s? Oh, I've got lots of 8s. I've got an 8.2. I've got an 8.4 and I've got an 8.8, 8.2, 8.4, 8.8, and a 9.0 and a 9.2. Now I'm just going to check that we've got all those added together. Oh no, I've crossed an 8.3 off. 8.3. So 8.3, 8.4, 8.8, 9.0, and 9.2. And again, by crossing off those values, it's actually made life easier for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just going to check I've got those 10 data items and I'm done. Find the range. Well, the range in this situation is the biggest number, which is 9.2, minus my smallest number, which is 5.1, which gives me 4.1. So there's my range, 4.1. Find, oh, look at this. Q2. What is Q2? It's the median, so the middle value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I happen to know that the middle value falls between there. It's actually going to fall between 8.2 and 8.3. So again, if I want my median that falls between 8.2 and 8.3. There's lots of ways I can do this. I actually tend to put zeros on the end because now I've got 20 and 30, and I know that therefore my median gives me 8.25. There's my median. I want my lower quartile, so I'm going to split my values in half. Now, because we didn't have a middle value, that's fine because that dotted line didn't actually hit through a number. We include all of those 5 numbers there. And again, we can just look and we see that the middle one there is 7.1. So there's 7.1. What's my biggest? Here we go. Split it in half again, gives me 8.8. How do I find my interquartile range? Well, my interquartile range is given by 8.8 minus 7.1, which gives me 1.7. 1.7. Thank you very much. 1.7 watt meters. Yes, we don't forget the units here. Now, the last part of the question says, interpret the IQR. What on earth does it mean by interpret the IQR? It just wants you to say, actually, I understand what the IQR stands for. So I would say the middle. Well, middle, 50% of my data or jumps has a range of 1.7 meters. It's literally it. Doesn't want your life story. It's not asking for you to sort of come up with some essay about long jumps. It just says, do you understand that the IQR is the middle 50% of the data? 2 examples. Year 9, loving this. Thank you very much on measures of spread. I am done. As I said to you, I'm Darren MaffsGuru, and if you can subscribe by clicking that doohickey over there, I would be greatly appreciative. Otherwise, there's a video loading below it that is also on Year 9 stuff that hopefully you will enjoy. Guys, it's been good. I look forward to seeing you in way more videos coming on all sorts of maths. It's been good. Hopefully you're well. If you've enjoyed it, leave a comment. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.